Harley-Davidson are the oldest motorbike manufacturer in the world. They're 98 years old.
You'd have thought with that sort of head start, they'd be at the cutting edge of bike technology. Well, I'm sorry, but they're not.
You see, Harley found themselves in a bit of a time warp. They had a successful formula and didn't dare change it. But fed up of being accused of having more show than go, they've decided to add some performance to their posing.
Welcome to the future, Harley-Davidson style.
This is the 1130cc 115 horsepower V-Rod, the most important bike the Milwaukee company have ever built. Out with the old and in with the aluminium. If Harley-Davidson are to survive another century, then this bike needs to be a success. So, what's the famous company's vital key to survival?
A radiator. Yes, after nearly 100 years, the fabled V-twin has been water-cooled to make it 21st century clean and quicker. It's a development of their superbike racing engine, and for production it's been tweaked by Porsche, which sounds right up my street.
You really got me going. You got me so I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, you really got me now. You got me so I can't sleep at night. Yeah.
Porsche, of course, have already found that water cooling the 911 upset their diehards, and now they've dared to go even further by smoothing out the V-twin and robbing Harley riders of its trademark shake, rattle and roll.
But at least you now have a Harley with a red line at 9,000 RPM. Okay, you've still only got 5 speeds, and the first of those is pretty tall, making slow speed trickling a rather difficult affair. But once you're up and running, you can now outrun virtually any other bike on the road. This V-Rod has grunt with a capital G. Mind you, I don't know what they say the top speed is, but whatever it is, you'd never be able to reach it unless you've got forearms the size of Popeyes. At least with the long wheelbase layout, you haven't got the problem of the front wheel constantly trying to claw its way into the air. But the drawback of such a layout is usually rather lazy handling, but I find this V-Rod drops into the corners very neatly indeed. Of course, you're never going to get your knee down like you can on a sports bike, but you'll certainly get your heel down with this Harley, because its belly sits so low to the road that any sort of real active cornering finds the bottom of your foot scraping the tarmac.
The question is, are Harley riders ready for such modernity? Remember what they're used to.
If, like me, you're more used to riding a sports bike, then you won't find the Easy Rider layout as comfortable as it looks. I've discovered muscles in the small of my back I didn't know I had. And you'll need pretty long arms to ride this V-Rod. Not quite sure how short people get on at all. But I suppose after a day of high-speed cruising, your arms will soon stretch.
The V-Rod will cost about £15,000, £3,000 more than a top-of-the-range Ducati, and about the same as a Mazda MX-5, which has a much comfier pillion seat.
But neither have that boots in the breeze cool. It just remains to be seen whether or not the hardcore Harley aficionados accept the change to water cooling any better than the Porsche 911 fans.